Like, come on now. Top 10 human values by Fearless Soul. Health and energy, love, gratitude and appreciation, kindness and compassion, integrity, giving, growth, peace, family, friends, and connection, family, friendship, and connection, and happiness. I like it. So, to start coming down. So, let me just let maybe some people tap in. Wow. Got that one baby there. One little baby. Last week was crazy. Which is basically what I wanted to touch on. Kind of like a last week in review kind of thing. But I'll maybe let some people join first. Maybe just put the phone down. Go grab a bowl. I do have the case here. Let me see. See something here. Give me a minute. Bear with me. It's not gonna work. Now that could work. There we go. Might work. Or not. But yeah, just want to let some people maybe tap in. Wanted to maybe play some word scramble. You know, like as you can see in the description, I mean, park, land, high, park. I'm sure we figured this one out already. Those of us who pay attention to things. But yeah, they like to do these word scramble type games. I mean, number games, spelling games, you know what I mean? Letters and numbers. Language games. But yeah, I really just want to stream because otherwise I'm going to watch a stream and it's just going to be talking about all the things that for the most part I've already come to realize. It's always nice to come across new revelations when you are associating with like minds. But Um, you know, I have a real problem not watching so much content, not taking in so much content, and being more of a creator than a consumer. And I do get lost in the consumption, and it does definitely take up a large majority of my time. Um, Started something very spontaneous yesterday. Started a bowling league, which I haven't done since I was a youngin, since I was maybe like 13. I'm almost 30 now, but and I realized, man, spontaneity is the zest of life in a lot of ways. And I'm not saying the bowling, helped me to realize that, but it's I mean, it's common sense, really. Insanity's doing the same thing over and over and expecting different results, right? So, and I am insane. I can admit that I'm insane, not just for those reasons, but for other reasons. And but to be to function in an insane world would make one insane. I mean, which I'm not saying I'm not dysfunctional, but it goes to say that everyone else is. The world is, society is, culture is. The whole system that we live in, under, many of us, most of us. I try to like to think that I live alongside that system. You know what I mean? I see it. I exist within it, or not within it, but right next to it. I don't like to think of myself within it. I know the reality of things. Despite my maybe cognitive dissonance on the matter, but yeah, I'm just bullshit talking right now. But if you look at the description, what up, brother Cuts? If you look at the description, um, you'll see kind of, last week it was one after the other. Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday. I mean, first was the High.Park.Land ritual, another mass tushy for the masses to swallow, get shoved down their throat. CERN the next day, the GEORGEstones the next day, on George's 74th, on a date written, I'm sorry, on George's 76th, on a date written 7/6, Skull and Bones 76. But we know all this, we've heard all this. Not trying to be redundant. And actually, a point I want to bring up is, what are we trying to accomplish by talking about these things, other than bringing people information they haven't come across, and therefore waking up. If one more person would, I mean, the mission is, by definition, is successful, is worth pursuing, right? But man, it just seems like sometimes that is all we're doing. It really does seem like one person in the whole world, maybe more, is waking up a day. At the same time, though, there does seem to be a pickup of an escalation of things as far as how many people are tuning in. But how many people are tuning in, turning on, and dropping out completely, as opposed to just starting to get it, and myself included, man. I mean, I haven't dropped out at all. I'm not off the grid. I'm not self-sustainable. I'm not practicing permaculture and farming my own food and foraging my own food, and not that I want to raise livestock, but I'm not doing any of those things. And so I could say all I want to say about how alert and awake, or whatever, aware I am. Boy, what am I doing to stop the agenda? What am I doing to and even more so, or on another note, I mean, what am I doing to better myself in terms of growth, in terms of establishing independence, and it's something that as I approach a milestone birthday in a few months, I'm starting to think about it more, and I have a lot to reflect on, man. I have a lot of so-called shadow work to do, which is not something well, at least not to my knowledge. I don't consciously I'm not consciously aware of any shadow work that I do. But I'm definitely a very introspective person, and you know, largely, considering how much truth content I consume on a day-to-day basis. But it's me focusing. At this point, this is just me and probably my brother Cuts right now talking one-on-one, because I don't see anyone else in the chat. But if anyone else does rewatch this video, what is the goal of seeking more and more information and knowledge? What there comes to be a point where I'm not trying to sound like I'm, at that point where I'm hitting that plateau of but I mean, I just realized focusing on myself necessarily include any focus on the outside world. It doesn't have to. It's not to say that it can't, but by all of this focus on, look over here, look over there, optogenetics this, the the GEORGEstones this over here, PSYOP over here, false Fagatron over here. All these distractions, man. Who's to say they're not placed here by the same people distracting the lemmings over here? I mean, I'm so deep down the rabbit hole, man, that I gotta climb out, at least to get enough air to be able to enter this new decade I'm about to enter at the end of this year with a little bit of grace and style and poise and and just at least I don't want to enter it trying very hard to I keep thinking, I want it to be effortless, but I keep thinking, man, I just gotta be out. I just gotta be out of my childhood home. You know what I mean? That, I just gotta be out. I just gotta have my own place to start this new decade. Is something I keep thinking, but it's like, why? Well, maybe I'm not, maybe I'm not thinking big enough, because okay, I'm out of my house now. I got my own place, let's say. Let's say it's a few months from now. But then what? Am I working? What am I doing? Am I working? What is that work? Is that work bringing me fulfillment? Is it helping me to grow spiritually? Is it helping me to... So one thing, I'm addicted to. I'm addicted to continually focusing on the outside world. Admittedly, through an esoteric lens, maybe. Through a lens that is occulted by, from most people, by having the knowledge of, gematria, and having the knowledge of, even, some etymological, and knowledge into law and common law, and, things like that do, why am I seeking this knowledge, though? Is one of the problems I keep. Am I just trying to continually grow my knowledge bank? Add to my knowledge. If so, why? For what to what end? That means to what is the goal of of that venture? Am I trying to knowledge is power, essentially? Is that what I'm trying to attain? Power? Am I hoping to grow with the use of that power? I mean, knowledge applied as wisdom, but yet I feel like I have more wisdom than power. And I don't apply the knowledge. I don't feel that I apply the knowledge. I don't feel that I, like, not that gambling is, I don't gamble though, but I don't, I essentially use the knowledge that I seek and gain from that seeking to kind of just, I feel like in a way find comfort knowing that, in a way that the world's so crazy, and here I am, just a little, star in the whole sky, and man, I'm just rambling right now. I'm really truly rambling. I'm really truly going off, but this is what I gotta do. This is what I gotta do because I don't journal, and I should, and I don't I don't have self talks a lot, and I really don't do a lot for myself, and like lately. I did yoga for the first time in months today. I did some meditation. I was only halfway in it for the first time in probably a couple weeks today, and I went on a walk early. I got up early. I never get up early, so something's just different today. I truly never get up early, and when I do, I mean, I might go back to sleep. I definitely never get up early and walk and work out. But the mango tree inside of me got me up. My neighbor across the way was actually getting his mango tree cut down. I didn't know. Well, maybe I did. I did because I got up. But they were cutting the part of the tree, their mango tree that hangs over their fence and into the sidewalk and in my neighborhood, where right across from my front step too. All I got to do is walk right across. It's a little and 10-second walk. But now it's cut down. But when I got up, they weren't cutting it down, and I walked over to this mango tree, man. Right, and let me show what tree I'm talking about. I walk over to this tree. I'll go this way actually. And I'm looking at these mangoes. And this one in particular is like, oh man, it's looking really juicy. The juices are starting to come. I'm like, yeah, I should probably pick this today, because by tomorrow it'll probably be on the ground and half eaten by some raccoon or squirrel. Anyway, I don't pick it. Instead, I pick one or two off the ground. Huh. Weird. Anyway, weird. Anyway, whatever. It's right over here. It's right over there across the way, across the street, neighbor's house. But yeah, I might disconnect here for a second. I'm gonna try to reconnect it. But so I put those ground mangoes away, and I walked around the neighborhood and worked out a little bit. And then I'm like, wow, just wow, God forbid. In my head, I'm thinking, well, is it the city? Is it the city making them cut it down because, God forbid, some people have some free fruit in the name of nature and God's bounty? They can't have that. Because then that would take away, $1 from, a grocery store. Maybe several dollars from a local grocery store, or whatever, to support their genetically engineered, genetically modified Monsanto, fruits and produce. So it was either that the city made them, or they just, or they just did it themselves. Admittedly, it does look like they don't really eat their mangoes. There's so many still left in their tree, and at this time of the year, there shouldn't be. I mean, if you eat them, there wouldn't be. I mean, look, we got one left right there. We barely got any of them. We got one right there in the bottle. But these people got a lot still. We got 1, 2, 3 trees, and I was looking a little earlier with some binoculars. They got a lot still, but no, I don't use binoculars a lot. No, I'm not Shia LaBeouf and Disturbia. No, I'm not that much of a hermit. But I mean, I did stumble on a pair of binoculars recently in my house, and they're an interesting thing to use. I don't use them a lot, but I'd like to use them more. But anyway, man, I'm just rambling here. But yeah, last week, dude. Last week. Went off on a mango tangent there. But last week, 7-4, 7-5, 7-6. Day after day. It was just a complete like you know truth seeker telethon. It was a complete conspiracy theorist. You know, not conspiracy theorist. You know what I mean? Conspiracy analyst, conspiracy realist. Parade. I mean, one day after the other. I mean, you had the Siab one in Highland. You had you know the CERN shit. You had your GEORGEstones, and channels getting taken down one after the other for just talking about the GEORGEstones. Um, I haven't seen anyone call it GEORGEstones, but I want to look that up and see if I was just tapping into the collective conscious by coming up with that in my head. But I swear I came up with that on my own. The GEORGEstones on George's 74 on George's 76th. But oh, interesting. Interesting how it just jumped up to 4 people. I don't know if that was all at once or what, but much love, y'all. I'm just talking shit really right now and wondering why should I or why shouldn't I? I mean, and all the people I listen to, I mean, I love Zach, man. But he talks a lot of shit, and a lot of his streams could be a lot shorter. They take up a lot less of my time. I mean, Zach's my brother, man. But yeah, right's my brother. Wise Waco's my, these I love these people, man, that bring so much value and information and gnosis. I'm not gonna say gnosis, but they truly do bring add so much value to my knowledge basis and so much more than that. I mean, I love everything, just those 3 gentlemen in particular, what they've done for me. But if I were one of them, I couldn't help but feel bad about like, man, they've taken up so much of my time, and I'm wondering, I can't help but this sounds like I'm gonna be talking bad on them, but it's really just me, man. It's me. I allow myself to get lost in the we're in the age of information, and it's kind of like how much information is too much. I mean, is there too much? Like, it comes to a point where you have all this information, and what are you going to do with it? And it's kind of like, what can you do with it? What can you do with the information regarding, the Jim Jones jab, when people are already, juiced up, and it hurts to know that people I love and care for, have it, and well, God willing, they didn't get it. You know what I mean? They didn't get the real thing. God willing, they got a placebo. But I had a real episode yesterday, and I don't know if it was, I don't know exactly what happened, but it was maybe like the 3rd episode like it within the last year plus. One I had last year on July 4th, and then another one I had earlier this March. But it basically felt like a complete like hypoglycemic episode, where like to the maximum. But I can't help but feel like my anxiety around the juice, and when I'm around people that are juiced, I can't help but feel like that anxiety could possibly be responsible, possibly play a part in why I have these episodes. Because each time, I mean, there was a factor there where I was around juiced people. But I think we allow our, admittedly, a lot of what I feel like I know, a lot of what I feel like I know around the juice, around the people who are juiced, who have it inside them. I do realize it is based in belief, and it isn't based in fact. That's not to say that what I know that I know about the juice isn't damning enough, isn't enough to. But that's what I mean, is that like living, the people who are juiced, right? The people who think everything's good and it's all over. They got it. They got it taken care of. I mean, they have less on. They're not even thinking about it anymore. You know what I mean? They're not even worried about it anymore. They don't even talk about it anymore. And here we are, still talking about it. You know what I mean? Like it's insanity. It truly is insanity. But this is what living in the old world while everyone else is getting updates. The new updates are probably coming soon. You know, the monkey shots. You know, even though the shots are what caused the monkey, dude. It's just I have a hard time not going absolutely insane. People such as myself, I would imagine, would go absolutely insane if they didn't. And I don't really meditate or do yoga all that much, but when there comes a point when it's like you have to do it, or you're gonna literally like spontaneously combust. You know what I mean? You got to do something, some breath work, or you just got to eat a really good meal, or you got to just sleep, or you got to just do something. You got to smoke a nice bowl. I mean, there's something sometimes. I don't know, man. I'm just going crazy and I'm just talking shit. I truly am. This is truly a rambling video now, and I don't give a shit because this is me not watching one of Zach's streams. This is me not watching one of Yerrate's streams. This is me not watching some other stream, or not just doing some crazy research, or not just going down some crazy rabbit holes, man. But one of the questions I have, if there is anyone still in this fucking chat, is it possible that what they gave us on 7/4, and then on 7/5, and then on 7/6, 3 days in a row? I mean, three really big rituals, 3 days in a row. I would say especially this one, but no, they were all, I mean, really big. You know what I mean? Uh, uh, Park High was really big, or Land Park. If I say Highland, will it? Whatever. I really don't care. But that was a really big ritual, especially the way that it cast. The look that it cast onto the community because of the 47 thing, and so now anyone who's into numerology or anything numerological, like say gematria, or is potentially a domestic tea or a mass hootie, you know so what's next? We all saw it coming, and if it is cuts, that's still in the. I mean, I do remember you calling that. I mean, a few people called that was next. Next is to paint this community, paint the whatever, the gematria community as a bunch of like what happened with Q, and what happened with, not that Q was ever worthwhile, but there are people within it that I'm sure were taken by it. I mean, hey, I was taken by some of it. I mean, and even to this day, I still think there's a lot of value to, like, the Great Awakening map. There's a lot of bullshit in there, but there's some gems in that Great Awakening map. I never really trusted the plan, but I definitely was a little bit taken by the psyop. I mean, I definitely think I fell, not fell, but got hints of starting to fall, or having thoughts of falling into the Trump delusion. I was never never anything close to a Trumper or anything like that. But I think I always had, my pineal was always, scrubbed enough, from calcium deposits to kind of see the obvious and see the forest for the trees, even if they were at a distance. But yeah, the fact that I have a big milestone coming up at the end of this year has really got me thinking, what am I gonna do, man? What am I gonna do? and it's this thought that I have to do something, because in order to not go into a new era, a new era for myself, feeling sluggish or feeling stuck in past thoughts, or regressions, or traumatic, trauma, still harping on old traumas that are literally over a decade old, like the loss of my father, things that I should, a lot of things that I really should be a lot more healed from, that I'm not. Um, and a lot of the reason why I am interested in the things that I'm interested in is, I do think, because I'm ignoring and neglecting and completely, not paying attention to things that I should. Like, once upon a time, I really wanted to have a company, and I really wanted to market a line of, have a line of products, and I still do, a line of products that are, meant to optimize bodily, full spectrum health, human optimization, pineal power, um, a product that, would have all the great things in one little bottle, in one little glass. The medicinal mushrooms, the adaptogenic herbs, the roots and tubers, the all the magic elixirs of the plant kingdom, and wrapped into one. And it's gonna happen, but I have made pretty much no progress, and largely because I haven't tried. I mean, I haven't really put my left foot forward, and just taken the first step. It's like I've gotten caught up paying attention to all the details of what's going on in the world, with the unfolding narratives and the great freaking reset this and agenda that, and transhumanist that, and AI, DNA, freaking that, and this, and just, it's like, dude, I mean, where do people who have decided to stay back, who have decided to stick to the old DNA sequence, where do we find, like, normalcy in this world that's evolving into, complete and utter abnormalcy? It always was abnormal, but it feels like, we came up in this program where, we think that, admittedly, this type of modification has probably happened so many times, reset after reset, mud flood, if you will, or whatever, that whatever happened that, wipes us out and brings us back over and over and over again. I mean, I'm sure this has literally happened so many times. Maybe that's what the Spanish foo-foo of, 100 years ago was. I mean, apparently there were, masks and inoculations back then too. So, I mean, who's to say they weren't, that wasn't, the last software update, and this software update's just, bringing the people back, bringing the people online to the next, the next version, the 3.0, the human 3.0. I mean, the Matrix 3.0. And who's to say it's 3.0 and not, 29.0 or a freaking million.0? I mean, but truly just rambling, rambling now, man. And so, if there is anyone here, thanks, brother. If it is Cuts, much love, yo. I just had to get some of this out, and I just can't help but wonder if last week was a really good example of how well they are able to distract even the so-called truther community with a 3-day festival of prime psyops. I mean, pretty prime. You know, you had your Park.Land psyop, you had your CERN psyop, and then you had your GEORGEstones. And then, you had James Caan, I think, died that same day. And then Tony Sirico? Whatever, guy from The Sopranos, James Caan from The Godfather. Earlier, we had a couple months, not even 3 months ago. So, 3 and not even 3 months. 3 movie mobsters in not even 3 months. Ray Liotta was first. That's who I was forgetting his name. Goodfellas, Godfather, and Sopranos. And I'm just wondering, is there something there? Italian, you know, Illuminati, Italian. I don't know. I don't know if there. I just feel like there's something there. 3 movie mobsters in no time. I haven't heard anybody touch on that, but I can't stop thinking about there having to be something there. But so if anyone's got any thoughts on that. But yeah, I could just keep talking and talking, but I'd like to keep this video a little shorter, a little on the shorter side, especially considering there's one in chat and one like. But I don't consider it a useless stream because I got this out. I got this pent up bullshit and this rambling that needed to come out. And I talked to anyone who wants to listen, really, essentially. Well, and anyone who's allowed to to see this video. Anyone who happens to stumble on this somehow on the internet, considering the utter banning via shadow my channel. But yeah. Hashtag shadow banning is real. But yeah. That's about it. Make sure to ask yourself in the mirror if you are paying enough attention to what you really need to be paying attention to. What you really know you need to be paying attention to, or at least giving an hour or a few hours to a day. Make sure you are trying to better yourself and actually putting the work in to do that. Whether it means not going on any type of media outlet, alternative media outlet, social media outlet, whatever. Shouldn't be going on any mainstream media outlet. If you are, then unless it's to pay attention to be able to understand what other people are allowing their minds to accept. Yeah, you shouldn't be paying any mind to anything mainstream unless it's to just keep up with the Joneses, essentially, and see what propaganda people are being peddled. But so that is something that I need to and am going to especially the next coming months tune into. Just the things that I really need to do that I've been pushing off intentionally, consciously for so long. Things like establishing, I hate to say it, man, but establishing cash flow. And I really do kind of hate to say that because I'm so anti-system, man, and it's almost like I hate money, but you can't hate money because money is energy. You know what I mean? It's what's printed on the money and who's making it and who's controlling it and what the purpose of it is that is, to be hated. But money itself is energy, right? So how can you hate energy? It's almost like it doesn't make it doesn't make sense. It's or unless I guess you're suicidal, then I guess you could hate energy. You just hate everything. You just don't want anything. You don't want energy. You just want to not exist. But me, where I'm at right now, I mean, I'm not there. I'm not saying I've never been there, but I don't hate life at the moment. The world sucks. Um, wow, that is pretty. It's pretty sweet right there. Is that a full moon? But yeah, I don't hate the world, you know. And I got enough of a lesson from my dad leaving this, leaving the world in that way. Just kind of quitting. Just kind of throwing in the towel, unplugging. And I mean, there's other ways to unplug than you don't have to actually. I don't think you actually have to unplug, if that makes any sense. Because once you unplug for good, I mean, you might not be able to plug back in. I don't know how it works. I don't know how it all works, but I've always wanted to know, and I'm sure I will know again one day, and I'm sure I know every night when I go to sleep, but then I forget again when I wake up. Yeah. Yeah. But anyway, I don't even know if anyone's watching this, in which case I'd just be talking to myself. But yeah, maybe this week will be a little calmer than last week with the PSYOP parade, one after the other. But maybe not. I don't know. Maybe I missed something today. I haven't really been paying attention. Oh yeah, I totally forgot about last week too with the Japanese the Japanese Prime Minister. Hello, honest Shinzo Abe, dishonest Abe. But wonder what he's doing. Probably chilling on an island somewhere. Faked his own assassination, I would assume. But you never know. Anyway, I could just talk, man. Really could just talk. I have tons of videos I haven't made public yet that are saved to private from my trip up to the Northeast a couple weeks ago with the fam. Went up to Mass and went to Boston. Super Catholic, man. Super Catholic. Massachusetts is so Catholic. Damn, dude. I mean, Boston, frick, bro. I mean, I knew Boston would be, but wow, just wow. And yeah, I hit Maine too, and New Hampshire. Landed in Manchester, New Hampshire, and awesome trip. I don't really travel a lot, and last time I think I was out of state, it was Colorado a couple years ago. Literally, like August of 2020 was the last time I was out of state, and before that, I don't even remember the last time I had been out of state. So probably make some of that public. I've been procrastinating on that. I want to edit like tons of the videos I've taken and make like one like trip vlog kind of thing. And a great way to grow a YouTube channel in all reality is actually not talking about anything controversial and posting normal content that the algorithms don't pick up keywords from and shadow ban. So I totally should, and I should just say I will. So I will start another channel, open or maybe just I think I already have one with uploading those videos to, or transferring them to, and making and posting this trip vlog that I'm talking about onto. So when that does happen, I'll probably post links for it on this channel and stuff. God willing, this channel's still here. Be pretty pathetic if they take it down because it's like no traffic. I mean, really. And I'm self-censoring some of what I'm saying so that my channel survives, because I like this channel because of all the playlists. I mean, really, if you haven't checked out my playlists, I have playlists spanning over a decade. Admittedly, some of the ones from more than a few years ago are a lot. There's a lot of I would pay more attention to the playlists that are more current and like the Conspiracy Archives playlist, the Esoteric Occult playlist, and the I Trip Conscious playlist, and entertain yourself playlist, and then, you know, maybe sort it by like sort or look at the more recent additions to those playlists. But yeah, man, I'm probably keep it there. I just wanted to talk some shit, get some steam out. But I'm saying too much, so that's how you know it's time to wrap it up. Much love. Be back on maybe tomorrow. And yeah. Should be serious. Thanks again for the convo. It's a good chance that this whole video was just me talking to my brother Cuts. But it's all good because I got it out and I needed to get it out. And maybe one other person will watch this at some point and get something out of it. Maybe watch it in double speed because I'm talking a lot of shit. Anyway, much love. Peace.